A mother and father who broke multiple bones in their 5-month-old baby girl's body have been jailed for a total of 19 years for causing her death. Little Ava Mae Collard had been grasped so tightly she couldn't breathe and her heart stopped. And when paramedics arrived, they found the tot severely underweight with multiple rib, collarbone, and femur fractures, as well as severe trauma to the side of her head. Her parents, Joshua Collard and Rebecca Grockett, said they did not know how the injuries were sustained and later denied harming her. Today, Mum Grockett, 27, was sentenced to 8 years and Dad Collard, 30, was jailed for 11 years. A 5-week trial at Stafford Crown Court heard that paramedics were called to the family home in Stone, Staffordshire on February 27, 2020, and they then called police to report that Ava Mae was in cardiac arrest. Paramedics treated the baby in an ambulance, but she later died in hospital. At Stafford Crown Court today, Ava Mae's dad, 30-year-old Collard, 30, was described by the judge as a violent, ill-tempered misogynist. Toxicology reports also showed Ava Mae had been exposed to cannabis, with the court hearing that Collard grew his own cannabis and had returned to the family home to remove the plants and associated equipment while his daughter was in critical care in hospital. Sentencing the pair, the judge said they are the only ones who know what really happened to their daughter, but that her injuries were consistent with her ribs being squeezed. He told them, "Both of you have lied about events that happened in Ava's short life. She was grasped so tightly she couldn't breathe and her heart stopped. After a heart attack, she would have been unresponsive in seconds. Neither of you have told the whole truth about what happened." Describing Collard as a misogynist who ruled the house and was more interested in cannabis and his dog than his own daughter, he said, "You lost interest in her when you learned before her birth that she was a girl." Addressing Grockett, the judge said, "Your description of yourself as a brilliant mom is far from the truth. You had suspicions that Joshua Collard was injuring Ava. You realized there were unexplained bruises if you did not cause them. You must have known who did. You knew Joshua Collard was ill-tempered and had assaulted you, but you repeatedly lied to social services and the police. I accept you have a lack of maturity and a low IQ. You are a woman of good character. You were desperate to marry and have children. I accept you were frightened of Joshua Collard." In a statement released after the sentencing, Peter Grice of the Crown Prosecution Service said, "Ava Mae did not die a natural death and suffered such heinous injuries over time, including repeated exposure to cannabis. Joshua Collard and Rebecca Grockett should have loved and nurtured their baby, and neither of them took steps to protect her. While there is no sentencing outcome that can bring Ava Mae back to her loved ones, I hope today's sentencing brings her wider family some closure. My deepest sympathy to them all." Detective Constable Emily Hanlon of Staffordshire Police's Child Protection and Exploitation Team said, "This was a truly tragic case in which 5-month-old Ava died as a result of the actions of two people who should have protected her. I would like to thank all of those involved in securing justice for Ava Mae. Our thoughts continue to remain with everyone affected by Ava Mae's death."